Welcome back to another special edition episode of Curiosity Corner Live. I'm back in the lab at Ohio Cat. In yesterday's episode, we learned all about simple and compound machines. Today, Craig is going to introduce us to two new pieces of equipment, and we're going to learn all about weight distribution and balance. I can't wait.
Okay, today's lesson is going to be on weight distribution, track vehicles versus wheeled vehicles. And today we have a 262 D3 skid steer loader, and we also have a 279 D3 compact track loader. And I'm going to go over some of the differences between the two of them and how weight distribution works with these two vehicles. Now, if you're thinking about terrain and what kind of terrain these vehicles would operate best on, you want to think of how the job site is set up. Where are you going to use this machine? Are you going to use it on a concrete pad or on a hard surface like we're on today? Or are we going to go to an off-road or an off hard surface that would require something that has tracks on it? And the weight distribution for these two machines, as you can see, the wheeled vehicle has a very, very narrow weight distribution point. It has one tire, or it has four tires, and it's very narrow. And all the weight is distributed right down here on this point. 4 points of the whole machine. And if you look at this track machine, you can see that the weight is distributed throughout the entire track. So if you look at weight distribution, and it's computed in pounds per square inch, the more surface area you have, the less pounds per square inch on the ground you have. And they take into consideration the weight of the machine and the weight of the tool that's attached to the machine, along with the material that is in the tool. So the more material you have in the tool, the more weight you have with the machine, and you have to compute that when you're considering weight distribution on this machine. Okay, if we were to take this tape measure and we simply measure the surface of this tire, it's 11 inches. We can measure the surface of the tire on the ground, and it's somewhere around 11 inches as well. And we do some mathematical computations, and we can tell how much surface area this machine is going to be able to support, or the ground is going to be able to support on this machine. If we do the same to the track machine, we have 17 inches of surface area width-wise, and we have well over 80 inches on the track. So our weight distribution is going to be much less with the track machine than it is on the wheeled machine. You're familiar with the rubber tire and the way that this machine operates. Now let's look at this track machine, and I'll explain a little bit about the rubber track system and how the weight gets distributed throughout the ground surface as we go. If you look down here, we have rollers, and then we have a number of rollers, or they're called idlers, and they actually ride on the surface of the track, the inside surface of the track. And what this inside surface of the track does, it gets driven by this big gear. This gear drives the belt. It goes around, and the weight actually is absorbed on the ground through this whole roller system. So the more rollers we have on this machine, the more it distributes that weight on the track. So we can go on a rough terrain, on maybe a soft terrain. Say like in the spring when we start to get into our construction sites and the ground is a little bit soft because of frost, thawing and freezing again, or we have an excessive amount of rain. This machine will go out onto that soft area or that soft ground, and we can get our work done easier. Earlier in the year, we can get a longer work period out of this machine than we can with our tire machine.